Anyway, we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna live and die on my word. I don't care about opinions, any of that kind of stuff. But this topic has been beaten to death. Obviously, you guys could probably just guess it's the Chris Rock, Will Smith altercation at the Oscars. This topic has been abused, not that deep.
And we record on today's Saturday, so we record on Saturdays, and the Oscars was Sunday. So
yeah, so
unfortunately, we missed it by one day.
And if you're even listening to this in itself, like, shout out to you.
Yeah, it's literally a week late.
If you're watching the clip itself, but if you're watching the normal pod, thank you for your support as always. But yeah, this topic has been abused by everybody. Everybody threw their 2 cents in. I think part of the issue with that is it's so messy because then people try to make it about themselves, and it's like people aren't even talking about the situation.
Everybody tried to relate this to themselves.
Yeah, it's like, all right, bro.
They're like, oh, well, if it was my wife, it's
it's not your wife.
It's not your wife. You would never be at the Oscars. It's not your wife's never going to be at the Oscars. It's not about you.
Yeah, you weren't invited.
Yeah, so you won't never be.
I just wanted to throw that out there because even though we're talking about a topic, I don't want it to make it seem like we're qualified to talk about a topic, if that makes sense.
We're just talking about it because everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, and giving a take that, most people didn't have.
And giving a take of us thinking for ourselves. Because a lot of people, I feel like their takes are just internet takes.
Yeah, everybody's
sheep.
Gets their personality off the internet.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So you're going to hear how we really feel about it.
So, to keep a real quick summary of what happened, Chris Rock made a joke saying that he can't wait for G.I. Jane 2 to come out, which I can guarantee you that 99% of people that were talking about it never watched G.I. Jane.
99% of the people probably weren't even born yet.
Yeah, like
that movie came out in 1999.
Yeah.
We were 3.
Y'all had to Google what G.I. Jane was.
Yeah.
So that's first and foremost.
A lot of people who are on the internet now, it's 21-year-olds, they weren't even born yet.
Yeah, so people
born in 2000.
People are being offended about a movie that they don't even have context into the movie. You never even watched the movie. But Chris Rock, it's questionable whether he wrote it, because in my opinion, I don't think he wrote it.
I heard he didn't.
Yeah, I would
on a teleprompter.
I would assume he didn't write it. Like, usually those things aren't written. Ricky Gervais is probably the only person that just goes off of off of his mind.
But then, what's the point of having him host if someone's writing it for him?
Because it's the personality and the delivery
and, the voice,
and the recognition of, okay, this is Chris Rock. We know who this is.
Yeah.
But usually for those award shows, it's all teleprompter because it's the Grammys or the Oscars or the
it has to be
Tonys or whoever.
Yeah.
They're trying to make their show be their show. But he made a joke, whether he wrote it or not, who cares? He still, said the joke, comparing her to G.I. Jane, which was a movie about a Demi Moore, I believe, is the actress that was in the movie. She had her head shaved, which is used to be a common thing for people in the military. They actually had to get the military cut, which was just a buzz cut, no fade, no edge up. Not anymore. Yeah, not anymore. So the joke was supposed to say that Jada looked like Demi Moore in that movie. So that's just a quick summary. Now, my opinion, first and foremost, to me, the joke was, you can't tell people what to be offended by or what they can consider insulting.
Yeah.
Especially if you're the one delivering it. So that's, just got to preface it by saying that. But the joke wasn't even anything demeaning or like, he didn't call her ugly. Like, there was none of that. He just said, Jada doesn't have much hair.
Yeah.
Demi Moore didn't have much hair in the movie.
Yeah.
That was it. He didn't say Jada was ugly. I don't think that he would ever say that or think that. I don't think that even the public thinks that. But, intent versus how it is received, 2 different things. But me personally, I didn't think the joke was that crazy. Bald people get clowned all the time.
Yeah, and like, I know a lot of people, they try to make this a black woman thing. Like, oh, black women are always laughed in the butt of the joke and all that. But it's like, at the same time, like, it's hard because people always have this issue with comedians. They're like, oh, well, not everything's funny. And people are going to start learning that you can't make jokes about certain things. But it's like, then what's the point? Like, for me, honestly, dark humor is my favorite. And like, not super dark humor, but I like when, that's why I like Dave Chappelle. He would touch on like the touchy subjects. And even this wasn't like that touchy, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know what it's like dealing with alopecia, but I don't know. Somebody who said their son suffers from alopecia said that they feel like Jada's wasn't as severe, even though it's still she deals with it. She said that her son, when you buzz the hair off, it doesn't grow back like her. You know how hers grew back, and it's like
it's like like fuzzy.
They said people who have alopecia is spotty.
You saw I had it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow like how hers does.
You know, I was
not trying to downplay Jada, but it's like
because alopecia is like just hair loss in general, right? Like technically, male pattern baldness could also be considered alopecia at the same time. And
it's like, was she actually diagnosed with that, or did she just was losing hair? Maybe that comes with becoming an older woman and just concluded that she had alopecia and just threw that out there.
Well, I wouldn't be.
I would hope she didn't do that.
I don't think so. I don't think so because and women don't even typically like lose their hair like that anyway.
Yeah, they don't lose it in like a lot.
Not the way that men do, but you know, regardless, I can understand somebody making a joke about something that you're sensitive of,
especially as a woman.
At the time,
as women, we really only have like, you know, our hair is important.
But you know what the crazy part about that part is?
You know, you could wear wigs clearly.
I was like, hair matters to men too. Like men be going out and getting hair transplant surgery.
Time. Like, oh, his hairline's receding. This,
Tory Lanez.
Yeah, the Tory Lanez. But
Tiger.
I could bet you half of the people who made tweets about Tory Lanez, you could search there and then see what they said about the Will situation. Like, people are very crazy. There's a whole
we call the certain cut the George Jefferson, which is a black
men
man.
always get it. And honestly, like you said, for men, hair is really important because that's really all you have. Girls, we could put wigs on easily. Like, wigs are more generally accepted for women. Like, a man will get clowned if he wore a wig. A man, if they would clown the men that were doing like lace fronts or like the little fake hair.
Yeah.
But women, we can easily cover her stuff like that, like alopecia or any hair problems. We have makeup. We have a whole bunch of stuff. Men really have nothing. Like, if you don't have your hair, then you kind of like, that's a huge insecurity for men, and women clown on it all the time.
Hold up, guys.
Hypocrites.
Let me just show you. Wait, hold up. I got waves. I'm not bald. I said I had alopecia, but you know.
No, your hair grew back.
Yeah,
I don't think it was alopecia. You just had some type of like infection or something.
Well, I still do actually. Technically, in the center of my head, you could see it.
But how you know it's alopecia? It could just be hair loss.
Because that's what alopecia is.
Oh.
It's just hair loss. But alopecia.
I thought it was like a specific.
There's the difference is that alopecia is kind of like random. Like, remember when I had like the spots, like randomly? Yeah. That would be more so alopecia. Like, male pattern.
I thought that might have been from like the blade though. Something got like something got in your hair.
Yeah, but then when I got it checked out, they were like, nah, because you would be able to see the infection basically. It would be an infection. They were like,
it grew back at least.
Yeah. But, you know, it's just funny to see like the kind of hypocrisy. And I'm not trying to make this an anti-black woman thing.
No, we're not.
It is important.
Like, I feel like for us, like, just to make this clear, we are more so on the side of, we like to play devil's advocate and just call it hypocrisy. That's really, like, lots of times I realize like a lot of my takes are just simply calling out hypocrisy.
Yeah. Let me give
I just don't like sheep. I don't like followers. I don't like how people just internet, like, are stuck on social media and just go whatever is trending. I don't like you guys. I don't. So I feel like I had to be like, I had to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, to give my specific take, I think that, and then we could get into everything else. My specific take is, one, it was soft to do it. It was soft to slap him in the context of where it was.
Yeah.
It was soft to slap the specific person that said it. And that's because if, like you mentioned, Dave Chappelle or Snoop Dogg or Shaq or like even Jerry Seinfeld, Ricky Gervais or mad different comedians, if they would have said that same joke, it wouldn't have been the same. No. It wouldn't have been the same response.
Knew that Chris Rock was somebody he could easily pick on.
Yeah, because if
you're weak for that, Will.
If 50 Cent said that, you're not getting on stage and hitting 50 Cent. And to me, it's not just about how tough the person saying it is. Yeah. It's about who the person is. Like, you're not gonna go put your hands on Jerry Seinfeld because that's Jerry Seinfeld.
Like, you feel you could do that to Chris Rock though, because it's like, it's Chris Rock. It's
not the toughest guy and whatever. And me saying the location and the timing is just because he's not going to do anything back. And, I'm not picking a side specifically, but just pointing out all details of it. So I, at least, for Chris Rock, I respect him not,
like reacting.
reacting, and he kind of kept it as professional. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's why you saw he was like, he just slapped me.
Yeah.
He was like,
I think he was just in shock, like, honestly. Because I think that's, like, even somebody that would fight back, I feel like they still would be in shock. But then they would probably run off the stage.
yeah.
And it would be so embarrassing.
Yeah, and then it would have been a mess. But Will knew that wasn't going to happen. That's why he did it. He knew he knew he wasn't going to chase after him.
Will was just so cool.
And then he sat back in the
and
thing.
And it was all screaming. Like, that's so embarrassing. Do you not feel stupid? Like, okay, I get it. Yeah, maybe you felt like your wife was suspected, whatever. But it's a time and a place. Like, being a real man, and like that's embarrassing to Jada too. Like, you just added way more attention to that. Now the whole world knows you have alopecia. I didn't know that she had alopecia. I thought she just wanted her hair short.
Me too. And now
the whole world knows.
I literally never knew that. I just thought, okay, she likes her hair short, because there's nothing wrong with short hair. Like,
or being like bald.
I know I said we're going to keep a specific time limit on this topic, but if we want to really get into it, I feel like part of the reason why Black women care about their hair so much is because of white women.
Probably.
Boom, hot take.
Well, that's kind of proven, because if you think about it, in the first place, the emphasis on our hair started with slavery and white supremacy, because that's when we really start caring for our hair, because that's like when the hot comb and all that stuff was invented, and us straightening our hair, all that was like during slavery. Yeah. It's because of our hair was like demeaned and everything, and we weren't professional.
Which is unfortunate, but the only reason
that's really the deep rooted issue here.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's not like there's a issue with Black women having pride in their hair, and it's not like there's an issue with her being offended in his joke. Yeah. But at the root of it, I would love for Black women to shake.
Why do we care?
Why do you care
about our hair so much? It's hair.
Yeah, like
sometimes it falls out. Sometimes, like, it sucks, but it's hair. And like I said, women, we have wigs. Like, yeah, it's still your real hair, and you're still gonna be upset about it. But it's not. For me, I feel like it's not the end of the world. Like, we have ways to still look good.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not being cohesive in my thoughts, but I'm not condemning him for doing it, but in
just there
the place that he did it. If you want to slap him after the fact,
like, for me, it's like, it's just a lack of emotional intelligence, because it's like, where is the thought that this is not going to be smart? This is not going to be smart. Like, you have to have something in you that stops you enough emotional intelligence to be like, no, we're at the Oscars. I'm most likely going to win my first one tonight. That literally, the slap overshadowed him winning his first Oscar. Like, and now you resigned from the Academy. Like, look at all that. You couldn't wait until the show was over?
Yeah, pop on him after the fact. Yeah. That's why I said I'm not mad at because you can't tell people what they can and can't be offended by. So if you're that offended and you wanted to defend your wife, then do it after the fact. And
people be having beefs that be
you never
for weeks or months, and then but so something pops off, and you couldn't wait 2 hours.
It's like, damn, man. But
looking stupid.
And I don't feel like the joke was that crazy, but
it wasn't. But like we said, we don't know what Will has went through behind the scenes with Jada. And Jada could have been crying, obviously having to go through a lot.
And there's also, supposedly some history between all three of them anyway. Yeah. So
my mom was telling me about that. Like, apparently, like, Jada and Chris, they didn't really have a thing, but, like, I don't know. Something. Yeah,
well, I didn't hear that, so that's news to me. But I'm talking more so about
like the friendship.
They had beef about the Oscars before.
Oh, when he made a joke before.
Yeah,
because he was like, she wasn't there.
She wasn't invited. Yeah, he was like, "How you gonna boycott something you weren't invited to?"
Yeah, something like that.
But it's true though. Like,
yeah, but I guess, but from Will's perspective, it's like, wow, so we're here again, and you still got jokes. Like,
yeah, he just picked.
He could have joked on anybody else in the audience.
I guess to really like summarize it for real, Chris Rock told the wrong joke, wrong time, to the wrong person in the wrong time. Yeah. And Jada pulls the strings in the relationship for sure.
Yeah, that's what I kind of want to get into real quick too.
And she definitely nudged him. Clearly she didn't tell him to go do it, but
she gave him a look. Most likely.
Yeah.
She just gives me manipulative vibes. I don't like them. I don't like that family. I'm sorry, I don't. You guys can kill me. I don't. Will Smith did a lot for the world with media and entertainment, but I never really liked them. They're weird, especially ever since the whole Red Table Talk and the whole entanglements and August Alsina thing. That family is just weird to me. I'm sorry, and I just feel like Jada's really, like you said, manipulative, and I think because we saw multiple angles. I think he laughed at first. Maybe, sometimes you just laugh, you're not really paying attention. So I think he didn't really catch what the joke was, and maybe he realized. And then I think Jada gave him a look because she instantly was upset.
Yeah, I think that he was giving a courtesy laugh. Like,
yeah, just laughing.
Yeah, just laughing because they go around and joke. They do this every year.
Yeah,
like,
and you know the camera's on you.
Yeah, it's like haha, yeah, but he's not really like. He probably didn't like the joke, but he wasn't gonna go do it. Wasn't clearly it wasn't enough to warrant going and putting your hands on somebody.
Right, immediately. It's not like he immediately was like, "Oh, let me go out there." But I think Jada because Jada, you saw, she was annoyed. Mm-hmm. I think she then looked over at him, and that's when he went up. Yeah. And then you saw the other angle when he sat back down. Jada didn't even look at him. Like if my husband went up on a stage and did all that in front of millions, when he sat back down, I'd be like, you good? You okay? She was looking at him the whole time. Like at Chris Rock. Like, that's weird, right?
Yeah, the angle was kind of nuts.
Yeah, and you could see she was just staring the whole time, like this, looking at Chris Rock.
That is
like your husband didn't just embarrass himself in front of all these people. Like I would have been like, are you okay? You
unless they talked about it beforehand.
When?
Like unless because.
Like beforehand, like before the show?
Before the show, like, yo, they're probably, because they were, I didn't watch it. So from my understanding, from what I heard from other people, is that they made the open relationship jokes, Chris Rock and some other people, whatever. So they probably talked about it before the show. Like, we're probably going to get, joked on in here. Yeah. And if somebody says something too far, she going to, give him a look. He going to go run up and slap somebody. But still,
even after you actually did it, though, you still come back and be like, you good? You okay? Like, try to calm down. Like you okay? Even if you just look at him, like she didn't even look at him. She was still looking at Chris Rock the whole time. I don't know. She just really gives me really manipulative vibes. We wouldn't have even known about all the cheating and stuff if it wasn't for her and her red table talk, like, and the whole entanglements thing and her making a joke out of it. It's just, I feel like there's a lot of emotional stuff going on behind the scenes with him and her. And like the Tupac stuff still is over his head. I just feel like it's a very like emotionally manipulative relationship. And we don't know their relationship, but that's what I perceive it as. And he might have just snapped. Like, she probably looked at him a certain way, and he was like, he knew he had to get up or he was about to hear her all night.
Yeah, and then I
hate women that do that to their men. This is so...
Yeah, I think he's just tired of being a butt of jokes and stuff like that, especially because Will Smith is Will Smith.
Yeah, and your whole name got overshadowed by like that drama.
Red table talk thing. It's so sad, because you know what the thing is? Like, I always viewed Will as that. Like, Will, Bad Boys, like the movies, like Will was always Will. Like, forever.
And ever since this, now I just think of the family stuff and
I don't know, like even him doing YouTube and stuff like that, it was like, damn, it's like, I don't know, like the mysticism
went away,
something went away with the way I perceived him.
It just sucks because like sometimes it's scary kind of seeing like people like that, not really like, well, I guess you could say icons, but people that you grew up with turning like their legacy turning into.
Listen, we're gonna do a couple of podcasts bingo here, and that's how I feel about Kanye with a lot of the different things.
And that's why it does worry me about Kanye, because it's like, dang, come on, please don't ruin your legacy. Like, you can never ruin your legacy, but please don't let this be the thing that people remember you by for the next 30 years, Like this, this is on you now. The whole Pete Skeet thing, like.
Yeah. So he was tired of being a butt of jokes. It was the wrong joke. Of her messing with him. Whoa. Not go through that.
Not tired of her literally, but like.
Wrong joke, wrong time, wrong person saying the joke probably.
Yeah.
Wrong thing to joke about. Like everything was just a culmination of terrible things to happen. That's what makes somebody snap. But if you look at it, I don't think that he went up. I think he went up there to just say something. But then Chris Rock made that extra joke.
Oh. Yeah, who did he say?
He called him Richard.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was like, all right, but
but what was he going to get there to do, though? Come on. He was going to slap him.
No, I actually don't think that he was going to, because I feel like his body language changed after that, after he said, oh, it's Richard. But I could be wrong.
What do you think he was going to do?
I think that he was just going to probably curse him out. Yeah, I thought he was going to honestly take the mic, say, keep on always being blah, 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 blah. The crowd goes like, oh. And then that was going to be it. But then Chris Rock joked again.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and then Will's like, all right, now you think it's a joke. And then he slapped him. Still soft, but
I thought it was honestly staged at first. I was like, nah, not with him. Not when he started cursing in the crowd. Cause
after I saw that, I was like, no.
Cause and some TV networks didn't catch it in time, so the curse was on like live TV.
Yeah. So, all in all, it's been crazy. I mean, we've kind of gone Just to add, Netflix is dropping one of his movies that I guess that they were working on.
What? Okay, so this is sometimes though I do feel like they take it too far with the like repercussions.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they do take it so too far sometimes. Like threat to take away the award is kind of like extra. It's dropping.
Because why does Netflix drop Will Smith over that, but didn't drop?
Yeah, why we
Kevin
watch
Spacey?
House of Cards?
Yeah, I'm watching House of Cards now. It's like,
and that's another thing too. Like the palm-colored people talking about this was the most violent and traumatic thing they've seen on live television. I'm like, wasn't 9/11 on TV? Because that was traumatic, and I was 5. I barely remember before, but
yeah.
I'm like people were really saying this was sort of traumatic, and all these celebrities speaking out and getting dragged. And
you know what? Personally,
I'm like, sorry to any white people out there, but I don't want to hear you guys talk about violence. Your kids shoot up schools. Your ancestors colonized and killed the whole world. You guys used to have lynching parties and watch my ancestors hang on trees. You guys don't need to speak on violence. Respectfully. Thanks.
The thing is, I don't even think it was that deep. Like
it wasn't.
But like, I mean, like, no, seriously, I don't even think him hitting him was that deep. Literally the only part that I care about is where it was done, and that's not because it's the Oscars, and I don't care about prestige. I don't care about Grammys. I don't care about the whole whiteness of it. But it's just the fact that it's on a stage in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
And then you did that. That's my only.
And
gripe.
the thing is, too, you like we always say this. Like sometimes like, the rules of life and the rules of certain things are stupid, but it's like that's where the emotional intelligence comes in. You knew that if you do something stupid like that, you might lose the Oscar. You might get kicked out. You might lose stuff. And I know people can't think about all that in an instant, but it's like, come on. I would never, like, if I was famous, I would never do no stupid stuff like that in public. I don't care what happened.
Literally beat him up after the show, and then we're cool.
You could have texted him and be like, hey, meet me here. You didn't even have to hit him, honestly. If the joke wasn't that crazy, you still could have talked it out.
Yeah, or hit him.
Yeah, or hit him. But do it behind the scenes.
You defend your wife, go ahead. But also... now slap everybody else that ever makes a joke about that. Slap everybody else that ever made any jokes before that joke. Now you set the precedent that you're going to put hands on people. Yeah, go slap August. Go slap everybody then that's ever said anything. If 50 Cent makes a joke, go pull up on him and slap him.
You have to be consistent.
Slap him at the Oscars too. Like, let's be consistent. Because if you want to jump out there.
He wanted to do Chris Rock, and he knew Chris Rock was like, If
you're feeling froggy, then jump.
He knew Chris Rock was not the type 2 to fight back.
Yeah.
Like you being a bully to someone who talked about being bullied.
Chris Rock's brother's involved too.
Yeah, he said something. I didn't watch it. He does comedy too.
Yeah,
he looked like he was speaking about it.
Yeah, he said.
But I know he was defending him on Twitter, saying he doesn't accept the apology, and I get that. That's your brother. If anybody messes with my sister, like Amir and Maya, all the stuff issues I've had with people in the past, they be ready behind me.
He said, "You gonna hit my effing brother because your B gave you a side eye with a question mark."
And see, sometimes that's me though as a sibling. That's what sometimes it is good having like people who don't have siblings. I feel bad because it is good to have people that will stand up for you sometimes.
That's rolling with you for no matter what.
Because Chris Rock's not gonna say all that, but he's like, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Thinking about me and Jeremiah too. All 3 of us are crazy. So you say one thing to any of us, it's smoke.
I feel like that was
smoke.
Eddie and Charlie Murphy too had that relationship.
Yeah.
Where Charlie was wilding out.
That's why I want to have at least 3 kids. Okay.
But yeah.
Sorry, kids have siblings.
This his brother's Tony Rock, by the way.
Yeah.
Said that Diddy lied about Chris and Will making amends. There's just a whole bunch of different things here. But
Chris Rock is going to be close to my hometown in like 2 weeks. My mom's still trying to get us to go. I told her just me and her in America.
Yeah. Jim Carrey spoke up about it.
Yeah.
Said he was sickened by the standing ovation that Will Smith got, and
they brought out all the dirt on Jim Carrey though. He cannot be talking. There's like a lot of stuff they brought up. Like I'm not sure all of it now. I can show you off camera, but it was like a whole bunch of dirt of him doing stuff. And it's like, look what you did here, or look at this, and look at that, or look at who you defended before. And it's like they be pulling people's cards. Like some celebrities be talking, not realizing their own past.
That's why I've always tried to be careful. Like
yeah.
Like, even before that whole cancel culture thing existed, literally, I had a whole, like, software that would delete all your past tweets. Because
if I ever become famous,
it's over. For you. For me, you can't find anything because all that stuff is gone.
Like, my old account is, I don't know.
Because that's the thing. I think where, because growth can happen, because they started pulling Will's card, because they said that Will made that same joke about so and so on a TV show, clowning people's baldness and stuff like
Really?
that from
Wow.
back in the day. Like they pulled out stuff from everywhere.
And that's why I think so many people don't realize things they've done in the past. And yeah, we could all grow and change, but that doesn't make you not a hypocrite
Yeah.
about something that you've done. That's why you just don't say nothing.
That's why I try to be very consistent. And
Yeah.
I know you hate it, but that's why I take really long pauses when I'm speaking
No, I know.
on a camera versus when we're just talking separately. I'll go on forever. I try to take those pauses because it's forever. Once you put it out there, you know,
Yeah.
people download it in their phone at any point. They can go back and pull anything.
Yeah,
And
like,
people
didn't you say this?
people don't allow for growth, right? Like I think that Jim Carrey, where he's at today, I'm not sure whatever nasty
Nah,
stuff.
something was recently like with him. This is some documentary, and like he was like reenacting throwing like saying he went to throw a bottle at the guy, the comedian. It was something. I'm gonna have to find it. Let me see if I can find
I'm not sure what that.
it. Well, it might take me forever to find it because that was like last week I saw it
Yeah.
or earlier this week. But
Yeah, I just, the only thing about the Jim Carrey thing that I enjoy when people, and I think everybody experiences that, like it's the dream of getting to, you know, the acclaim of being an actor or a musician or whatever, and then I feel like they get there, you enjoy it for a little bit, the money, the tables you get to sit at, the restaurants, all that stuff, the glitz and glamour, all that cool stuff, and then I think for everybody, they have that moment where it's like, this is crazy. And I feel
Yeah.
like Jim, I could be completely wrong, but at least in the way that he presents it, he's like, Hollywood is terrible. He hates it. Because you probably see some crazy stuff. It's like you're
Yeah,
excited to
and you
get
hear
there.
stuff, yeah.
And then it probably gets insane. Like,
Probably
yeah.
nasty.
Don't even want to try to even guess what be going on. But
yeah, I just feel like I don't know. I feel like the celebrities all getting involved and talking about it was
so-
very extra to me.
so extra.
And like you see, Zoe Kravitz got involved and she got dragged. And that was a scary thing about the internet and about this life is that you see how quick everybody loved her from Batman. It was like literally people were like gassing her up for the last month.
yeah,
She said one thing about this, and now they was pulling up.
They were waiting for it.
Predator stuff and saying that she was trying to get at Jaden Smith.
now with that thing,
And that connection is interesting.
I was like,
Is it a reach?
No, I didn't think it
Oh.
was a reach. I was, because if it was a male saying, you know, oh, you know, she's 14, I gotta
Yeah.
remember it. That, like, that's fucking crazy. That's a wild.
That's so
statement.
weird to say.
That's the
Especially
craziest
with
statement
14.
ever.
Like 14 is young.
Like, bro, at 14, what were you doing at 14? Where were we in 14? Freshman in high school.
Freshman, yeah.
I might have been 13 when I went to high school.
Yeah, I was 13 too. But we turned 14.
Turned
as
14
freshmen.
pretty quickly after that. But come on, bro, freshman
Freshman in high school.
didn't even have a
Literally.
license. Didn't have nothing. Never drove a car.
Like we fresh out of middle school.
Crazy,
That's
bro.
weird.
I was
And
watching.
some people are 14 in middle school.
I was watching cartoons.
Yeah.
Still.
Making videos on my laptop, like me lip syncing Rockstar by Rihanna. Like I wasn't grown.
Because when they were trying to cancel her, I was like, all right, come on, y'all. Like,
Before this?
no, like,
Oh,
when
this
they were
time.
trying to cancel, I'm like, all right, come on, this is cancel culture. They're trying to pull up some stuff. Then I read
Yeah.
through the interview. I was like,
Oh God.
because I read all of
And
it.
that's crazy because that's like, where was all that information before when
What?
she was gassed up from Batman?
I just couldn't give up. Like, why did she say that? Why do people, nobody,
Like I don't give a everybody just interest themselves. Like nobody wants your opinion. If you're in an interview and they ask you about it, okay, sure. And then you could even then be like, oh, I'm not really comfortable speaking on it. It's not my place. It's not my business. That's what I would say in an interview. Unless I really wanted to give like my 2 cents real quick.
don't cast a stone in a glass house. That's it.
Yeah, but if you are gonna criticize anybody, then you got to be perfect, and you can't have no dirt online, nothing.
Yo, I'm so sorry for anybody that's watching the podcast, not in the clip version, but the actual podcast, because I got even more to go for this one.
Okay,
I
go
forgot.
ahead. Go ahead.
All of the rappers and people that were saying, first of all, everybody that was saying what they would have done to Will Smith, shut up. Like, nobody asked
Okay,
you.
who was that guy, the sports commentator that was talking?
Who?
I don't think it was Sharp. It was something.
It wasn't, what, Stephen A. Smith?
It was one. No, Sharp is the one who that said it. Stephen A. Smith made that video. Remember?
I didn't watch any responses.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith made a video not agreeing. Shannon Sharp on TV was like, I would have fought him or something. If that was me, if I was Chris Rock, like he was on Chris Rock's side. He's like, like something I would do hands, something along the line.
Which I don't disagree, because Shannon Sharp is huge, and like
He's scary
that's what I was
movie
saying.
than
Like,
that,
he
yeah.
played football. He probably got CTE. So
No, but it's still just like the whole like, why is everybody saying what they're gonna do?
exactly.
Like,
It's like nobody asked
mind
you
your
what you're
business.
gonna do. Like I don't care.
You want to make this about you so bad.
We all know every guy would have beat up Chris Rock, and
Yeah.
we all know that everybody who was on Chris Rock's side would have beat up Will Smith. We got you. Everybody's tough. We got it. But it's the rappers specifically that I had a problem with, because they were all support black women, empowerment and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. The concept of that, we do support our black women.
Yeah.
Not through everything. We support black women in positivity. We don't support their bullshit, because just
Yeah.
because you're black doesn't mean that
we
you
gotta
are.
support
We
you.
got to support you.
Yeah.
No, we could get you out of here too, even if
Yeah.
you're black. We're not supporting you just because your skin color. But the rappers were like, oh, defend the black women. It's like, wait, you just cheated on your girl 92 times, embarrassed her in front of the whole world, just like you did the exact same things. All your music is about degrading black women, or just degrading
not
women
even
in
calling
general.
women. They're calling women out their name and all their music. The whole every lyric is B word this and B word that.
And then now it's your wife. Like, go make some music about your wife then. Say how much you love her and turn it to an
because
R&B singer.
Just
Then.
because rap doesn't mean it's a requirement to talk about those things.
Yeah, like
Your songs could literally be like, my wife's the baddest and blah, blah, blah.
yeah, and you see what Chance the Rapper did that. You saw what happened to him. They hated the album.
Yeah. And Kanye does it a little bit, but then you see something that he gets back into it. But he does it a little bit.
Yeah, so I hate that. Like you said, we just point out hypocrisy, right? Like,
Yeah.
I have my opinion. My opinion doesn't mean that, me having an opinion doesn't mean that I think that I'm right all the time. It's
Yeah.
just that I don't like the throwing the stone when you're in a glass house. Like, don't tell me that you're defending black women, but you degrade black women, have them in lingerie and everything else,
And then,
dancing in your
like
videos.
you said, don't say that, oh, Chris Rock shouldn't have made that joke, but then we go back to your tweets from 5-6 years ago and it's all Tory Lane's
No.
hairline.
Not even that. You could go back probably
2 weeks ago, yeah.
and they were clowning about somebody else, and we're not doing that. But that's all I got.
Fake social activists. That's why anytime this stuff happens, I just don't speak on it. The whole timeline is Ari and G Herbo, Will and Jada and Chris. Like the whole week, I've been like, I'm not being on Twitter. I'm not being on Instagram. Like, you guys need jobs. You guys need to get a life. There's no reason you should be on social media all day. Like, how do you sit on the internet all day and talk about it? If you want to give your opinion and tweet out once, make a little Instagram story post, go ahead. But all day,
And the difference
back-to-back days.
for y'all out there, the difference between them and
us.
what we doing is that we building this to try to make some money off this platform.
And we're only talking about this for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
We're not tweeting
scrolling.
online. Like the second that the mics are off and the camera's off, we'll probably lay, watch a movie, edit my TikTok from me being out today. Like, I'm gonna move on. But some people are so obsessed, like so obsessed.
Not getting paid for it. That's the thing. We
not
doing
getting paid,
we
yeah.
doing this because there could be some money down the
Yeah,
road.
look, we set up everything.
If there wasn't no money down the road, I would. On God, I would not be talking about this. You know me. I
know.
would not be talking about this.
Literally, our conversations outside the podcast are literally like
Way more intricate. We can.
we talking about our future and investing in index funds and we talk about fun stuff here and there too. But it's like,
You be bringing up index funds every day.
I know, because that's
Leave them alone. That's all you got. What about derivatives? Come
I'm
on,
not doing any
bring
of
it to me.
that. I'm not doing any of that. Forex. Let's talk about Forex.
You got anything else on this one?
Not really. That's like kind of my conclusion is that they both were wrong, but I think Will Smith was more wrong. That's my opinion. They both were wrong. Chris maybe shouldn't have made that joke, and sometimes maybe we do need to think about the type of jokes that we make, and that they don't. If sometimes we do rely on jokes being at the expense of others. Maybe you're not that funny, but I think Chris Rock is funny, but just in general, and I think maybe you could be a little bit more mindful with jokes, but. Regardless, I don't think the joke that he said was warranted of a slap in front of national television.
Why did nobody slap Ricky Gervais when he told the whole audience that they're responsible for Weinstein raping all those women?
Because he's white.
Okay. All right. So next topic.
No, for real.